Well, I'm back on the 5.3 Chevy engine in my Avalanche. I believe it's an LS. I got this head all done. Everything's bolted on, torqued down, the exhaust, the rockers. I found a couple things. This rocker here, cylinder number 8. Yeah, 8, 2468. The one rocker, the oil is fed up through the push rod to the rocker, and there's a little hole at the top of the rocker right here, and it was plugged on that end one, almost completely plugged, and there was another one that was half plugged in here, and it actually caused a little bit of wear to the rocker and to the end of the push rod. But I cleaned it all up. I blew out the rocker, and it just shot out like a little rocket. It's a piece of carbon, so I think that'll be all right for this old girl. You can see the difference of this head here all cleaned up, and then there's what it looked like the before and after. So this is next. I got to pull that off. What else did I find? Yeah, it's tricky getting the head bolts down in here. You can get these ones out with the manifold on, but those ones you can't. So you have to take all the manifold bolts out. Luckily they all came out nice and easy. And then you stick a pry bar in here, and I stuck a 2x4 in here, and then that way you're able to get the bolts in. I struggled with that for probably 45 minutes. And finally I just said, screw it, I'm taking off all of the manifold bolts, because this is on the assembly. I'm trying to put the bolts back in. But you can get some in with it on, some with it off, so it's just easier to get it off, pry it out of the way, put them in, and then get them started on the torque. And then I think I did torque it all together before I put this on, yeah. Okay, I'll put the valve cover on there, and the coil pack, and that side's done. Day 3. A little bit each day because I'm working. Let's take this all over here. So this head's all done, back together, torque bolted down. This side here, I've scraped off all the gaskets, cleaned up the cylinders, put the new injectors in, the active fuel management ones in cylinders number 1 and number, push that down, number 1 and number 7. But I started out here, I don't know, 10 to 8 this morning or something like that. Just I washed this head all up yesterday, cleaned it all out, and then this morning I started putting the valves all in. I even washed it in boiling hot water with soap again after I washed it in the Varsol bath, and cleaned it out as best I could, scraped all the surfaces off, and it came out pretty good. But I was putting in this valve here, and went to release the valve spring compressor, and one of these tits shot out, one of the keepers shot out, and I looked over, I cleaned up all this bench all the way along here, cleaned up the floor, cleaned up all my nut and bolt pile, went through this whole, because I thought it would have shot over this way, cleaned up this whole thing here, looked for probably 45 minutes, finally gave up, called the dealership to see if they had one little keeper. That's all that's keeping me from putting this thing together, is that one little keeper. And then so I'm calling him, and I'm standing right here, just like this, talking to the guy, and he's looking up the part, and I look right over here, like that, and I started looking and looking, and there it was right there, right when I was calling the guy in town there to go pick it up. So good, I got that last one. Let's put the last one in. It's the next day. I got her all back together. Got new wires on it. She fires right up. But I've got more ticking now. But the active fuel management cylinders are 1 and 7, and 2 and 4 on this side. But I'm getting a ticking in number 3. 1, 2, 3, I believe. So I'm going to pull this off. And they all sound like they're ticking a little bit more, you know. I don't get it. The oil's topped up, antifreeze topped up. Like, man, I was expecting this thing to fire it up and nice and quiet. Ticking. I put my stethoscope on it and it sounds like it's right in here. Over here too a little bit. Pisses me off. I should have replaced all the lifters. 8 of the standard ones and 8 of the AFM ones. I should have replaced them all. Well, if I do have to pull this head off, I'm going to pull the valve cover off right now and the coils off, run it, and see if make sure they're all getting lots of lubrication, and make sure if it's cylinder number 3. I'm going to try to squirt some cleaner down there and get that one freed up if that's the case. If I don't know, I'm just gonna see what I'm gonna find under there. That'll take a few minutes. But at least all the gasket surfaces, the heads, everything's cleaned up. Like if I do have to take it apart, it'll be a lot quicker and easier. And this time I'm not gonna take off the intake manifold. I'm just gonna undo the bolts, jack it up, and I can unbolt the head right where it is. Be a lot quicker and easier. But I don't like that ticking. That really pisses me off. All that work for nothing. Okay, let me pull the valve cover off. Well, I pulled that valve cover off a couple hours ago. Disconnected the coils, the wires, and had my grandson start it up so I could watch everything right here. Just running on 4 cylinders, it fires right up. These first 2 lifters, might have been all 4 of them. It was going so quickly, I told him to shut it off. It was shooting oil out 20 feet over here. Like there's probably oil on this post. You know, it's sprayed, you can see where it's sprayed across that cardboard all the way up to here. It's good oil pressure. I wiped it off, but it was dripping oil all in my hood here. My fender was all dripping with oil. I washed that all off. Yeah, so I got good oil pressure. Before I did that though, I turned over the engine with a wrench down here, a little bit each time, ran it through the compression strokes, checking all the lifters for any free play on any of them. Couldn't find any free play. I've been thinking about this last night, thinking about it today, thinking about it more and more. So those 8 new lifters I put in on active fuel management cylinders, I didn't soak them in oil. I probably should have soaked them in oil for a while and get the air out of them a little bit. They should pump up on their own, but it might take a couple minutes. Well, I've run this thing for 10 minutes off and on a bunch of different times, and it really hasn't quieted down. So I'm wondering, like I did wash that VLOM where the solenoids are that activate the fuel management for the 4 cylinders. I did wash those off, and I did plug it in back there, but I'm just wondering maybe that plug's come loose or it's not in. Let's say that plug isn't plugged in, then it won't feed oil pressure to those 4 new lifters I put in. Let's just shut it down though. I'm just wondering about that. I'm not sure how that would affect it. I don't know. If they were dry, let's say they were dry, right, and that thing's not plugged in, I know it is plugged in, but I was wrestling with this hose back here. I don't even think I can even reach it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to double check that fitting back there. I'm just wondering if that, before they pumped up or bled up, if by pulling on this hose, if I don't, because it was tucked in behind in there, it was jammed in there. I forgot to pull it out freely when I bolted it down. If that would cause that noise, and that would mean it would be lifter number 1 over here, but it sounds like it's number 2, the second one over, number 3 cylinder. I don't know. I don't know. And I put my stethoscope on, and all of these sound the same. It's not like the center 2 sound really noisy. They all sound clattery. You know, all of them sound clattery, but this one just seems a little louder than the other ones, and there might be one over here a little louder. I'm befuddled. But anyways, I gotta think about it some more. It's Friday afternoon, and my seat's not done yet. It was supposed to be done yesterday or today. Now she's saying Sunday night or Sunday. So much for the weekend. But I got a couple things done. I didn't film it. I'm just trying to get stuff done. I gotta knock stuff down. So I got that weed eater fixed there, put the carb kit in it, blew the carb jets out. The jets are so small. There's not really jets in it. It's like little ports in those carburetors with little flapper valves, and they're so small they get plugged up. And I sprayed carb cleaner on and compressed air, and I do it 2 or 3 times, and finally it freed up, and now the thing runs good. And then with these things, you have to have a special screwdriver like that to adjust the low speed jet and the high speed jet. So I'm keeping this so my buddy Randy doesn't screw around with that, because guarantee I'll give him that and he'll screw that thing right up. Oh, and this is the carb off the Mercury outboard, and that's been sitting here for a week or so. And as soon as I got near it to get to the carb, I could smell bad gas right away. You know, the gas was all stale, and what the hell? Get in there. I guess that's it there. Yeah, it was all stale. So I drained the gas down into a can down here. That gas was bad. And took apart the float bowl on this. It was all gummed up. I kind of scraped some of the gunk out of here, you can see. But the main jet, it's right in there. It was gummed up solid, and I tried to take it out. It was just seized. I've been soaking it in some penetrating oil. It was just seized, and I spun the head off it. And I'm using a nice crisp square, you know, it's a new bit, and still just twisted off. I could barely get it out. I was almost going to give up. You can see some of the corrosion on here. It was just corroded. So I ordered a new one, $22 for that. Legit. I could jam this back in there, but you may never get it out again. So I ordered a new one for him, and I'm confident that'll run. It's a 4-stroke Mercury outboard, 3.5 horsepower. But it's going to be a week before that comes in, so I'm going to put this all in a bag, and that'll be a quick fix once that comes in. And I'm still debating what to do with the lifters. These are all the ones that were still working. This is the one that collapsed. No good. But I emailed this guy that works on these all the time, and just see what he thinks about that oil pressure. I don't get it. I can reach around the back, and the wiring to the VLOM BLOM is connected, so it's getting oil up there. It's got super high oil pressure, good oil pressure. Maybe I should have run it for another minute longer, let oil squirt everywhere, because it was kind of going like a fountain. The first rocker got oil, shot out like 20 feet, and then like milliseconds, the second one, oil, and it just started to come out of the third and fourth. Like I can just see it going down the line. The oil pumps at the front of the engine, so as soon as it's pumping oil, it's going right down the whole row of rockers. So it's going choo, shooting up the oil. So I told them to shut the truck off right away as soon as it started squirting that oil out that far. So I'm pretty sure it was going to shoot oil all the way down the line. But I've never seen oil pressure shoot oil that far on any vehicle on the rocker shafts. Usually it'll dribble out, it'll be a puddle coming out, or it'll squirt out maybe a foot, you know, kind of spray out a little bit. But so that kind of confuses me. And if I got good oil pressure, why are they rattling? I should have took all those other lifters out. I should have took them all out and soaked them, all the old ones, soaked them in diesel fuel, cleaned them up. Pissing me off now, but I'm not going to touch that thing for a few days. I got to think on it some more, and I'm going to have to pull those heads off again. I'm not comfortable driving it like that. I keep starting it up every once in a while, and let's reverse this. I keep starting it up. Started up first time this morning, let it run for 5 minutes, you know, just see if those lifters will pump up a little bit more. Did it again this afternoon. Did it last night a couple times, and it did get a little better last night after I first fired it up. It did quiet down a little bit, but it's still too noisy. Something's not right. I don't like it. So, it'll piss me off. It's going to be a lot quicker pulling it off, but it's just so hard to get at the back head bolt. There's one head bolt on each of them. And actually, I should go, yeah, I got to go into town here shortly. I'm going to buy a 1/2-inch flex adapter. I used to have one years ago, a Snap-on one. They're like 40, 50 bucks, but I'll just get a Princess Auto one. And it'll make it a lot easier to get those back two head bolts out on each side. I'm going to do the right side first. And I may order those 8. If I'm going to pull them off, I'm going to put all new lifters in. I'm going to put, they're a lot cheaper. These lifters here in Canada are over $100 each at the CarQuest. I forgot what the guy told. I called because I called there months ago anyways, and they're, I don't know, 110 or 20 bucks each or something like that. It's ridiculous. I got all 8 of these from California for, I think, 100 bucks for all 8 of them. Pretty sure. I can't remember now, but they were like pretty cheap. 87 bucks US, maybe a little over 100 Canadian. But the other lifters are even cheaper because they're standard. The other lifter is the same lifter they use from 1999 to present. So on the 5.3s, it's the same lifter. So they're cheap. You can get them. I can get I forget what. I can get a whole set of them for. Well, they're still. I think they're 80 bucks, something like that. Still. No, $69 for all 8 of them. So I might just order that. I just can't see why it's ticking like that. It runs on 8, it runs smooth, but it's noisier than it never was that noisy before. So something's not right. I give up, I quit. So that's it for right now. Friday night. Tomorrow is Independence Day. Hopefully that goes smooth over that bridge. And hopefully there's more arrests. Let's get that country cleaned up, and then the world will be cleaned up. That's it. Good night.